Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and this video is going to be talking a bit about the changes that hit, I guess the additional change that hit today, then was reverted, then reverted again to be a buff again, and also looking at some sims, which are going to reflect the changes that came in yesterday for both AF, I guess AF, Destruction, and Diabolus in general. All three lock specs are pretty close together, as far as sims are concerned, at least in single target. Now, if you guys want any weak horrors add-ons to the video, links to Twitch and Discord down below. If you want anything for free, I'll put the sims down below if I remember to do so. I'm getting old, I forget sometimes, and there is all that. Also, if you want early access to the Warlock beta spreadsheet, if you want that, the tier 3 failure rank of page for how higher does get it. It's linked down below if you want to do that, but it does indeed go public regardless before the expansion launches. And yeah, let's just jump on into it. Alrighty, so getting into the change today, change like singular. So this change, now I've heard a lot of like mixed reports on it, and honestly, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I heard that this change was actually pushed last night together with the buffs that we got to like Soul Rot and Rapture and the Chaos Bolt buffs, the Incinerate nerfs, all the changes, the nerfs to Ritual and Diabolus stuff last night. But it wasn't data mined from Wowhead, I guess. Not Wowhead's fault or anything, just it wasn't caught in data mining. I don't know. So it was likely in the video we talked about last night, but there wasn't really a whole lot of combat testing last night in the video because, you know, well, there wasn't. Now, I did look back in a VOD on stream last night, and it does indeed appear to be implemented. Agony was around 12% of my damage, which is about what it is in the sim coming up in a minute here. So this was, I guess, announced or data mined earlier today. I think around like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., something like that, Eastern, that is. A few hours later, around 8 p.m., it was data mined that this change had been reverted. So the 40% buff to Agony was reverted, removed. People weren't very happy about it, all that. Then around 10 p.m., it was the reversion of the reversion was reverted. Basically, it was buffed again by 40%. So, the sim we're going to look at here is from last night, but the sims did indeed have the Agony buff in them. It was just caught like on the back end through whatever they did. They're smarter than I am, I don't know. But the sims that you're going to see here do indeed have this Agony buff in. If you were confused about things that happened earlier, TLDR, Agony was indeed buffed by 40%. It was taken away, but then it was given back. And currently at 1:35 a.m. On August 8th, it is been buffed by 40%. That might change in a few minutes. Couldn't tell you, but it looks to be buffed. So, getting into sims here. Now, the first sim we're going to look at is actually going to be Demonology. This build has shifted a little bit talent-wise here and there from what we've seen. There have been some builds that have not played Grimoire Felguard. This is quite a zoom here. Some builds have played Grimoire Felguard. Some builds have not played Grimoire Felguard. They're both actually very close when it comes to like overall damage and everything. And if given the the option of either, I'd play the no Grimoire build. This build, however, here is indeed playing Grimoire Felguard. It's not playing in Tauren. You're playing Dread Calling, playing full Pact, Umbra Blaze stuff. We're playing Doom with Pact of the Arrow Druid. Now, I haven't looked a crazy amount at sims here. When it comes to like Pact the Arrow Druid and all that, I'm trying to find the Doom Guard here. He's doing 2.8%. He was doing around 1.3 from the earlier on beta. So that might actually, it might be like I have bad RNG. It could be a discrepancy in, sims versus in-game combat. I don't know. I haven't seen him being this good recently on beta. But this is currently the highest simming build. Might change. Not really sure. But I have seen builds opting to fully skip Doom and play things like this, and not play Grimoire. And I believe they're playing a point. Oh, and here, I don't know what I just did with that, but we were playing here. I don't know what that was, but either way, playing a point here. So we'll see where this goes. I'm not sure where it's going to land. I think it should be played either way, actually, just looking at where it's at. We'll see where it goes. Not really sure where it's going to land. I also have seen builds looking at playing Tactics and Brutality, like probably Brutality, but either way, Demonology is currently sitting right here at 1.289, 1,289,000 DPS. The breakdown looking like, Tyrant 10.3, one of the big dogs again. Imps got buffed by 15% last week, so you're looking at, them being your main source of damage. Tyrant 10.3, DM Bolt 7, Hand of Gul'dan impact damage 6.0, Vial Fiend 5.5, which is like red dog, actually, not Biofeem, by the way. And a lot of little things here and there, demons, so on and so forth. This is only Diabolist. Soul Harvester has not yet been implemented in Sims, so we don't know where it's at. I have tested Soul Harvester Demonology. I was going to make a video tonight looking at damage comparisons on beta, but unfortunately Demonology or Diabolist broke, and none of the pets, when you proc them, are appearing. And Ruination is not working, Infernal Bolt's gone. So we'll push that video to like Friday or Saturday and just talk about Sims tonight, and that's where it's going to be. So keep in mind, Demonology 1.29 million. Overall, sim-wise. Moving on to Affliction. Affliction move us here. Affliction, I can just show the talent build here, is sitting at 1.273, so a 17k DPS difference, favoring Demonology here, but obviously different profiles, you know, in certain settings, so on and so forth. This does indeed have the Soul Rot buff, the Malefic Rapture buff, and the Wither buff. 12% is about, or sorry, not Wither, Rapture buff, Soul Rot buff, and Agony buff. 12%, excuse me, is about where I've seen Agony in my own testing on beta and things. Post 40% buff, so this doesn't need to have it in. It's been confirmed it's been in here either way. So 1.273, once again playing Hellcaller. Soul Harvester not implemented yet for both Demonology and Affliction, but I will say I've also played Soul Harvester AF, and I've noticed that at certain times it's been strong, if not stronger, than Hellcaller. Obviously, Hellcaller has a strong minute profile with Soul Rot, Rapture, and PS. Well, they both do, but you know, Hellcaller has that Malevolence button. You smash it, you get more Wither stacks. Wither in general, very strong. You get a haste amp, a bit of a damage, you know, pump from Wither. But Soul Harvester, whenever you cast Soul Rot, it gives you 3 shards. It empowers them for like bigger Rapture damage buffs. So they're both like strong. Those 1 minute windows and cycles of damage. We're gonna see where it lands, but a 17k disparity between the two is actually like relatively impressive when it comes to single target tuning, you know, across 2 different specs here, also with hero talents coming into play. Now, putting like, you know, the similarities aside and all that, Sims obviously aren't fully optimized and stuff. They are indeed playing some trinkets here and there. I mean, some trinkets that look to be front runner stuff. I have not run Sims on my own for trinkets and things yet. Embellishments at the same time also haven't been fully fleshed out and stuff, but the build we're playing looks like this. So obviously it's Hellcaller. If you take these talents here and toss it into this calculator, this is for beta and not for pre-patch or anything. Hellcaller stuff for playing, this actually has Hate Fury ahead of Bleak Heart. I have seen both being played, which I'm a little surprised Hate Fury is ahead here. It's 30% to Wither comparatively to 20 and more Black and Soul stacks. They were both really close in Sims when I looked last time. But either way, it has Hate Fury ahead of it here. But the thing is, I mean, you're playing AC. So it's a permanent effect. You're basically looking at 30% Wither increase. Don't worry about the damage reduction or the duration reduction. Doesn't make a difference. Or you're looking at 20% with, you know, chances to gain Black and Soul stacks. A bit more RNG, I guess, but a higher high end, maybe a lower low end. But this is more damage overall, more consistent damage. It's 30%, you know, on a good day or a bad day. You got it. The build, for the most part, though, looking like this. We've played this build for a while and pretty much locked in on this being probably the best, if not the best, Hellcaller build for Affliction. We're playing Haunt, improved Haunt, all this stuff here. 2 points of Malediction, 2 points of Contagion, AC, Singularity, so on and so forth. Not playing Oblivion anymore. Oblivion has shifted to being not worth it again. It's been good, then bad, then good. Now it's bad again in Sims. Might change a bit again. They probably need to buff Oblivion a bit if they want it to be taken. Honestly, most of our capstones, even like Gambit, they probably need to buff UA again, like baseline UA again. It's still not incredibly strong. Agony is like 3% stronger than it now. But Oblivion, this is like, this needs to be Cascading Calamity. I don't know what this even is, unfortunately. Oblivion is not where it should be. This is way undertuned. 1.2 procs a minute is just nowhere near where this should be. It should be probably 3 times this, if not higher. This is the worst capstone of all of them. Like numerically, not like being toxic. Numerically, this is the worst one of any of them. This is like, I think this is a cool talent. It's not really capstone worthy, capstone-esque worthy. This should be Cascading Calamity. I don't know what's going on here. And Gambit's like okay-ish. Like, I mean, like it's not great. And unfortunately, like the thing below it is pretty awkward too. Death Embrace is all right, but not good enough to be played in every fight. It's probably played on like Rashanon in the raid, but not good enough to be played on most fights. Likely to make the damage increase like, I don't know, double, maybe 15%, or have it ramp like it used to. Old Death's Embrace, right? But But yeah, this is what we're playing right now for the most part. I have indeed played Soul Harvester a bit myself, which there's no Sims for here or anything. So I'm just gonna like show you the build I've been playing. I've been relatively impressed. They fixed Soul Harvester's bug, which was a big bug. Tonight they fixed Crescendo. It now does proc with Soul Harvester. It wasn't procking at all until 11 p.m. tonight. Now there's a new bug though with Nightfall. If you have 2 stacks, casting 1 Shadow Bolt consumes both the stacks, which is actually pretty big because Soul Harvester does more Shadow Bolt damage through things like Necrolite Teaching, so on and so forth. More Nightfall procs, which Nightfall procs lead to more effects. I've been playing this here too. Of other abilities, Soul Harvester is very synergistic, so a bug like that existing makes things pretty awkward. Talent-wise, I've been playing this for Soul Harvester. I believe it's this section to connect here. Connect this. There we go. My talent's reset. It's okay. I've been playing this. I think right here is where this point goes. I'm missing a point somewhere. Oh, here. Yeah, this for Soul Harvester. No Sacrolash. We're not playing Wither. Malediction is the worst of these two. You're not really playing Malediction on retail either. You're playing Improved Haunt and I think something else on retail currently. There might be a world where you still want to play Malediction. I'm not sure, but I've been playing this and having decent success with it. I also started playing this, Xavius' Gambit and Oblivion over Dark Virtuosity to like dump shards outside of my Rapture windows. To spend shards going into a Rapture window because you're casting Soul Rot, which gives 3 shards to Soul Harvester, thanks to Shadow of Death and stuff. You dump shards outside of it, more damage per shard comparatively to Rapture when you're casting, you know, Raptures outside of your main windows with only 3 dots active versus 5. It's pretty close, honestly. I think it might favor Hellcaller a tiny bit, but it's pretty close regardless. Getting back to it, once again, Demo 1.29, Affliction 1.273. Now, when it comes to destruction, the big question here, how is Destro looking? Is Destro still playing Rain of Fire? What's going on with it? So on and so forth. Here are the Sims. I do not have a raw Sim for you. I believe Sailor is working on them, but he doesn't have them yet. This is what I have seen. So, Rain of Chaos. Chaos Bolt on top. Hellcaller on top as well. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Hellcaller on top, Rain of Chaos, Chaos Bolt. This is Diabolic Embers, DE. PO is Power Overwhelming. It's basically comparing Chaos Incarnate to Power Overwhelming. They're so close, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Diabolus was nerfed a lot. As we know, it was about a 10% nerf to Demonology, more to Destro. The highest Diabolus build has dropped, I mean, this is a 300k drop in damage. You lost more than 10% for destruction. The highest Diabolus build sitting right here at 1.233, which is honestly not too far off the highest Hellcaller build, a 5k difference, not a whole lot. But the highest build here for Diabolus is playing Crashing Chaos and Chaos Bolt and Embers and Chaos Incarnate and no Pyrogenics, right? The highest Rain of Fire Diabolus build is sitting right down here at basically 1.2 million, roughly about a 30k disparity favoring Chaos Bolt. And we talked about these changes, what might need to be done to make Chaos Bolt better for Diabolus and Hellcaller. Hellcaller was like just buffing Chaos Bolt, nerfing Incinerate, which was done. Unsurprisingly, Chaos Bolt's better for Hellcaller. But Diabolus we talked about not being a simple fix, and it wasn't. In the end, they had to go in and nerf. So they reset Ritual to 20 seconds, was 14 for Diabolus for Destro. They nerfed Incinerate, buffed Chaos Bolt, nerfed Infernal Bolt from 3 shards to 2, nerfed Infernal Shard Gen, nerfed Overfiend Shard Gen, and I think nerfed something else somewhere. So they nerfed like 7 things, but doing all that, nerfing the Shard Gen, buffing Chaos Bolt, nerfing Incinerate, all of that did indeed push Chaos Bolt once again ahead of Rain of Fire as your single target spender for both Hellcaller and Diabolus. Now, the interesting thing is, like, if you're looking at Hellcaller here, you can find Rain of Fire for Hellcaller. It's only behind by about 16k. So, I mean, if you gotta throw one on the move, probably isn't like the worst thing, you know, but either way, you know, not bad. So I don't have the actual like breakdown for these Sims yet. I think Sailor is working on them still. They did mention that the Bolt build's not fully optimized in here, so you might find some more damage for Chaos Bolt based builds here. And it might be closer to Affliction and Demonology. And just to show you here, I believe this is the build for Destro we were looking at. Try and pull this up really fast. I have it on beta somewhere. We could even go full screen for this. Very exciting times. I believe it was this build we're looking at right here. I think it's not the right one. Yeah, so the highest build here is playing Rain of Chaos, Chaos Bolt, Embers, and Power Overwhelming. So I was playing actually Crashing Chaos here. It would play this, Embers, and basically all of this is how it would look, I believe. Now, interestingly enough, like, they're actually both pretty close here. So the highest build here being Reign of Chaos, Chaos Bolt. If you look down a bit though, Crashing Chaos, the same build essentially, is right here. Like, these two builds are these two builds for Crashing Chaos, right? So there's about a 1k DPS disparity here between these two. Like, the top one being Hellcaller, Reign of Chaos, Chaos Bolt. This one here being Hellcaller, Crashing Chaos, Chaos Bolt. Or this one here, both being super close in Sims. There's a level of RNG, obviously, in these, and, you know, disparity, all that. If you're looking for more consistency, I would certainly play Crashing Chaos in a setting where there's a 1k difference in Sims here. You're guaranteed to have just straight up, yo, you're getting 8 Chaos Bolts, they're going to be buffed by 25%, right? Versus Reign of Chaos being like, yo, at times you might spawn a million Infernals early on, and it will snowball really fast. At times, it might spawn one half a minute into the window and you're just sort of scuffed, right? Consistency wise, if they're that close, just 1,000 DPS disparity between the two, I am certainly playing Crashing Chaos over Reign of Chaos. But once again, these Sims, what I heard, aren't fully optimized for Bolt yet. They might be now, I'm not really sure, but if that's the case, maybe there's even more value in Crashing Chaos comparatively to playing Reign of Chaos. I'm not totally sure, but there is that. I do want to show you all briefly as well. I was going to show you guys the Diabolus tonight and stuff, in combat and all that, and make a combat video, but unfortunately, unless they fix this in the last 20 minutes or so, Diabolus pets, this is my ritual tracker right here. Whether you're playing Destruction or Demonology, they don't spawn. So we have a big mommy spawning here, Mother of Chaos or whatever. Here we go. She's ready to go. I'm gonna Shadowburn to summon her. No empowered ability. There's the Pit Lord. So, unfortunately, the damage video is off the menu for tonight, but probably tomorrow or the next day if this is fixed. Yeah, we'll go from there. But TLDR, man, like, honestly, all three lock specs are very close to one another. I mean, you're legitimately looking at essentially 1.24 sim for Destro, which isn't fully optimized, probably 1.27 for AF and 1.29 for Demonology. And honestly, like, I think overall Affliction's profile is better than Demonology's. Fights vary a bit, obviously, but I feel like looking at least me personally, looking at Nerebar Palace, I think Affliction's profile, certainly for like Silken Court, but even other fights in general, likely fits fights better than Demos does. They're both good, don't get me wrong, even Destro's good too, but I think they're all pretty close, they're all fun to play, and sim-wise, they're all really close to you. So I'm hoping that Blizzard's like internal target number is maybe somewhere around here. If that's the case, then great. All three lock specs currently are pretty close to one another. But if it's 1.5 million or 1.7 like Arcane Mages are doing, we're in trouble. So we're going to find out, go from there. But yeah, that's that. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, if you had any questions about like the state of lock stuff after yesterday's buffs and nerfs and tuning and changes and all that, this helped clarify on that. Like I said, I think the Destro Sims could likely be optimized a bit more based on what Salior said. I don't know exactly, but it is cool to see Chaos Bolt back on top finally, in comparison to where it was before, with Rain of Fire being better in single target. Obviously, there are some bugs active now, which we talked about, so we can't look at that really in combat today, but likely a video this weekend looking at combat and stuff, and we'll go from there. Honestly, like, even with Soul Harvest not being implemented in logs, I've been impressed. Sorry, to clarify, not in logs, not implemented in Sims. I've been relatively impressed with testing Soul Harvester recently. It got nerfed a good bit in early alpha, but it's been steadily getting buffed again and again and again, and it feels very synergistic. So depending on where it all lands, I wouldn't be mad to play Soul Harvester. Visually, probably like the least, like, not incredibly flashy, like visually, or like, you know, like rotationally compared to hitting Malevolence, but still fun. And we'll see where it goes. If you guys want weekly Warriors or add-ons, Twitch and Discord links down below. You can get them for free. At the same time, like always, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Yeah, thank y'all a million times. Like always, I greatly appreciate the support. If you're looking at supporting on Patreon, should be a link up here. Excuse me, as well as down below in the description. And yeah, like I said, guys, I greatly appreciate it. We are less than, basically exactly 2 weeks away from early access, which is insane. Things are just coming so fast. There's going to be guides, need to be updated, the website, all this. It's going to be insane, but I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too. And before we know it, we're going to be in Heroic and then in Mythic, and there's going to be a race. And yeah, this beta flew by. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, hit the like and sub buttons below. Helps out a ton, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.